I see it now, but it
Look at
froze.
him.
It froze as you moved the camera. So
Look at little fucky right there.
All right.
All right, stream is live. Everybody's looking at your fucking cat.
Good.
Anyway,
It should be.
All right, so that's good. Audio should be. Oh shit! It's gonna play audio from the fucking game on the stream, but not on the Squadcast. Fuck! I gotta get out of this game.
FF.
All right, I'm gonna
Just FF.
I'm just gonna beat him real quick. That's what we're gonna do, and then we'll start. You're streaming right now, so people out of love.
I'm watching. Yeah.
See, now I don't have to feel bad for being late. This is good. This is
Yeah.
really good.
Well, this is why you have to be like 20 minutes early because it takes about 45 minutes to start an episode. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a lot of work behind the scenes.
It's just usually a series of comical errors that occur, and then
Hey, I'll be. If we got just a moment here, I'll be right back.
you go for it.
I did not even think about that the audio would bleed.
The background noise.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could turn off my game audio.
You know, I play with the game muted.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems horrible.
I can't. Well, I have pings make noise, so that like useful things like that. So like the sound effects, but I don't have any of the music or anything because I always listen to music when I play, so I just find it distracting to have like dual music.
You listen to music while you play League?
Always. Yeah.
He listens to Sarah McLachlan.
Well, I mean that's on my Ingrid Michaelson shaped one, so of course she shows up quite often.
I only game when I want to. I
It all depends on how tilted I am, what station I listen to on Pandora.
He is the reason Letters to Cleo gets a check for 15 cents once every 6 months. I thought that was pretty
Didn't land.
good. Nope. Who paused? Who paused the game? Kept spectating. Oh my god, these teams actually look fucking even.
What?
These community games.
Oh, they are not.
Oh, okay.
36 right now.
Ah, that's a good point. Okay. Oh, who's playing Mountain Hard? Yeah, Mountain Hard no good.
So I was under the impression for Clash you could bet more than one ticket, so I bought like 20 of them, and now I can bet one ticket. So I'm covered for the next like 5 years of Clash.
Clash 2040. I'm ready to go.
Do this on the podcast. For sure.
Don't worry about it. I was planning on it. Because I was like, oh, I believe in our team. I'm going to put like 5 tickets on this game.
Who's your team?
It's me, Blake, Zill, and Ernie.
Alright, pro tip. Only let Endeavor play Lowy. That's it. Just
Well,
don't,
Good advice.
don't let him play anything else. Oh wait, he's back.
And every time.
Uh-oh. Dude, it's actually great, because like for most of these Clash games, I don't actually want to play Alawi, but they're still going to ban it because it is my by far highest mastery champion.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is we need to put Phil for all of our positions.
Oh, can you do that in the Clash?
Or we can just put it whatever. So like I can put my position as support, so they ban Zyra, and then it won't affect Blake's champion at all. I think that we should do that.
Do they even get to see our positions?
Yeah, because it lines them up according to their positional thing, right? So
Does
it says
it?
that this person's
I
this.
don't think it did.
I feel like in the,
But that's the
I
way
know,
it was
but
in the previous Clash.
I felt like in the past we just tried to like ferret
game's
out
over.
what it was based on their.
Well, that was.
We did. I'm just saying we
not
can
the
make it
best.
a
Who
little
won,
more complicated for other people.
I think we edged them out.
Who won?
Yeah, we
Oh, you were
edged them out a
edging.
little bit. It was only 35-7, so pretty fair and balanced.
At least everyone had a good time on your team.
Dude,
One,
1-2
What
1-2 Bear's
Bear
fucking
was-
good.
what champion were you
He
playing?
was 13. I was playing Thresh. One Tooth
Okay.
was 13-1. I was 5-1.
Jesus, 1-2.
I was 5-1 and 18.
One Tooth is the
And
silent
my
assassin.
ADC was 7, 1, and 12.
Yeah, that's good.
The guy on our team that did the worst was Elise at 3, 1, and 22.
Oh, poor Snapcaster.
And Don Run, 7, 3, and 11. I don't know why they let us have this team. This was picked like captains.
Isn't it? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, isn't it like your job to balance this shit? Like,
Captains, I did nothing. I just got picked. So whatever. I'm fine. All right. They've. Hold on. Hey, replace me for this one, guys, because I can't host the thing without the thing bleeding over into it, like the game sound.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So,
Discord.
we're already
Yeah.
placed.
That's where they
Yeah.
get you.
all right,
The double
perfect.
conversation.
I'll see you next
the
time
double
around.
entendre.
Have a good cast.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I am following the Lola podcast.
I
That's
think we're
good.
ready. The stream should be live.
Stream is live.
Does everybody have? Is the sound good on the stream?
I muted it because it was echoing. Let me check.
Should be. Because I'm seeing.
Yeah, sound is fine.
I'm seeing squiggles.
And I hear everyone all right, so.
Yeah.
Everybody's got bubbles and bars and shit on here, so I guess we're good. All right, hitting record in 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Lola podcast, and I am Danger Penguin, your first-time host, but long-time podcaster. So I'm here with my boy Double Sniffed. How you doing?
Fuck yeah! I'm the first boy, not Endeavor.
Jesus. That's demoted.
I went from oldest to youngest, just so you know. So
Wait.
Yeah. Yeah. You're old man.
Math here.
or least attractive to most attractive, whichever makes you feel better.
I love how being the oldest makes me a boy. Makes me your boy. I'm older than you. This is my boy.
That's his
He
thing.
is older than me. Hey, people. I'm double sniffed. I
And
don't
you're
know what
excited
else
to
to
be
say.
here.
I am excited to be here. I got back
Yeah,
from
first
fucking
boy.
London. I was in London for like
That's
2
awesome.
weeks.
See, that sounds fun.
It was British.
And if this
Very
was
British.
a traveling podcast, I would ask you questions about that. But it's not. It's a League of Legends podcast. So how are you doing, Endeavorit?
I am doing great. Apparently, I'm the youngest, but also most attractive here, so I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
It's just
Well,
age,
no, so-
age does this to a
To
person.
be
all
fair
right? So-
to be fair to Danger, he only looks unattractive because he's sitting so close to the monitor. I can see his pores.
Thanks for chiming in, Blake.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna go muted here in a second, but I just had to let you know. Maybe you might want to scoot back about 6
Before I
inches.
was too far away. Now I'm too close.
No, before you looked like
Well, yeah.
Mr. Wilson because you were 6 inches down. Now you're 6 inches close. That's a totally
is it-
different problem.
Well-
The frames crop in on you for what he has set up here on the stream. So
Is
No,
that
yeah.
better?
yeah, no, you look good. You look good.
All right, good. I'll
So-
relax and be more
And
comfortable.
if Double could go ahead and slouch, that would probably be great.
Fuck no. I'm trying to keep my fucking bald spot off.
Ah, no, you can't. It's
You could only
impossible.
imagine that there's like this glorious head of hair on top of the
Either that or a
He's
thick
got a
head.
magnificent afro up there. Most people have no idea. But
Wait, is he
anyway.
pulling on the Astros beanie? Is
Oh,
this
yeah,
what we're
he'll come back with like a fisherman's hat or something.
doing?
No,
He's
full
going
on,
with a beautiful wig. So
yeah,
if you're
full on
if you're
wig.
not watching this and you're listening to a podcast,
Yeah,
you're,
this
you're
is all
definitely
the
missing
gr-
out on just a gorgeous set of hair that Double Sniff is rocking.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is all the
bef-
great content that you miss out on
All right,
when you
so-
don't watch us on
Jesus,
YouTube.
What concert did you go to that was relevant? Like a cheap trick wig.
I don't even think he can hear through
I was
it.
gonna say, he's
hard.
trying to
The
find his way out
microphone
from
stay
underneath
on.
it.
He can't
Jesus.
respond. He looks like one of the monsters from Monsters Inc. I think right now.
If one of the monsters
There
from
we go.
Monsters Inc. was a hooker, yeah.
I'm assuming most of them were.
There's a strap of some sort. I think this goes.
There's
There's
a
a
strap of some sort. Okay, so real quick before I like drop out and let these guys have at it, we haven't released a podcast for a couple of weeks as we were having scheduling issues. So we think what we're gonna do to help resolve that is record on Wednesdays, so that way the hosts all mesh together, have a better time making it on Wednesdays, and then we'll probably move community games to a different day. So instead of Wednesday night community games, it'll be like Thursday or Tuesday or whatever works for Willie. So I gotta ask him first, but there will be announcements to follow on that. And yeah, other than that, we're
Yeah, stay
doing a
tuned.
rotation, and that should help solve some of the problems. So sorry for the late releases. I'll try to make it up to everybody. And other than that, have a good podcast, guys. Oh,
Thank you,
Double,
Blake.
you look fucking fabulous.
I
Thank
think
you.
I lost.
Thank you.
I think I lost my spot at the top of the top of the standings here. I'll have to see
Yeah.
that.
It's because gorgeous is just gorgeous. And
I love how it hides my headphones.
Yes, it does.
It's good.
It's like you're talking into nothing, and you listen from nothing.
I think you just found a new pregame ritual. Get into the zone. There we
So,
go.
we
I was wondering, there
Hot
goes.
anime chick right here.
Oh,
This
hey,
is- This is what
Danger.
Sneaky looks like 2 months after being booted off of C9. It's like, what happened? What
Sneaky
happened is
really
that.
let himself go.
This is like what would happen if Lola crossed with Final Fantasy X? Right here.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Danger. Your distance is good, but you're like super low in the frame, so we can see about from here up.
I just can't. I can't be good enough.
Apparently, you can't win. There. No, I
there you
think
go.
that's
the
going to be
sweet spot,
perfect.
right there.
This-
There it
this
is.
Yeah.
Horribly
All right,
uncomfortable, but
just
at
for the
least
love
you
of
turn
can
the
God.
posture, or move your camera down. Just like tilt your camera down. if
Yeah,
you
do
want.
it. Can't
For
do
the
it.
love of
Can't
God,
be
just
done.
don't move. And
What is
stay
that, like a
exactly
jet?
right there. You look
For,
great.
for our 3 watchers, here you go, guys.
There we go. There we
is for
go.
you.
Yeah, that's for you guys. Okay.
All
Have
right.
fun podcasting, guys. I'm gonna mute.
Still better than
That
fucking
was why Papa
Astros'
Smurf
hat.
popping in.
Still a better hat than Astros. This wig.
No. So double. So you spent some time over in Europe. Did you play any games on the EUS server?
No, I didn't even take my laptop.
Ah, fair enough. Okay.
Plus,
I
I,
mean,
would have had
it
to spend money
figures.
to like change over there, right?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I've never played on a non-NA region.
I guess I would play NA server from the EU.
That sounds terrible.
There
Yeah,
was,
you would have had to create a new account to go onto EU.
yeah,
That's
Gotcha.
the new kicker thing, because now your Riot account is linked cross-server, right? So now, no matter what, your Riot account is linked to whatever you're
you could
playing.
always pay
so.
to change region before.
Can you blue essence that?
Yeah,
Well, so I think in their new what's coming out in the next like couple of weeks is you'll be able to select your region, but you will still keep like the same like Riot account.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So because that's that overarching Riot Games account, right? That's going to link
Mhm.
to Legends and all that other shit, Legends of Runeterra, Wild Rift.
I'm
there was
really stoked for when that all actually works together.
There was like a gamer arena where I could have rented a unit by the hour, but I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that on my vacation.
Right,
Fair
you can
enough,
do
yeah.
that at home.
Oh, for
I'm
sure,
gonna
for sure.
Go look at fucking historical artifacts.
Also, the European server's way better, so it'll make you feel like really bad when you start playing in like silver because
No, but that means my teammates are better, and since my teammates are the reason I can't climb here in the NA, it only
Exactly.
serves.
Oh, yeah.
That's You're
head to the
looking at it
grand
all
server
wrong.
and you're going to be a challenger. Yeah.
I'm next vacation. I'm going to Korea. I'm coming back.
There we
Coming back
go.
#1.
I like it.
All right. So speaking of League of Legends, which supposedly this podcast is about,
Yeah.
we're going to talk a little bit about patch
Akali.
10.4. We're not talking about Akali.
Well, you haven't had enough Akali talk yet?
No, everyone's had enough Akali talk. We're all done with Akali.
Thought
Except
this
for
was
Astros.
That's what the A in Lola
Because she
stands
tattooed on
for.
it.
It's League of
League
Legends
of-
Akali.
hold on.
League of
Last
Akali Haters Anonymous.
All right, last time I pop in, I swear.
Jeez.
Actually, we got
Akali and he had to be back.
we got feedback from the community, a lot of it, about the Akali discussion, and it is overwhelmingly against Akali.
Oh,
Weird,
I am
right?
surprised at that.
Strange.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't even gotten feedback on the podcast in many a month, friend. But that particular discussion stoked a bit of a fire. And it turns out people agree with us.
Us as in
Shocker.
At
everyone
least the
but
people that are
Astros,
willing to listen to our podcast.
Yeah, no, us as in like the reasonable people that were on that podcast and not Astros. Very few people actually, they're like, oh yeah, it was great seeing Ponderous, but Astros is so fucking wrong. That was like the overarching feedback I got. So
Yeah,
there you go.
that's good. I'm glad to know that I'm right again. That makes me feel better.
Right,
So
right. I thought it would, so I thought I
Yeah.
would chime in.
I
to let
needed
you
that.
know.
Thanks, Blake.
All right, back to mute.
So
Alright.
instead of running through like patch notes like we've done before, which can be a little bit dry, we're going to pull out a few of the things that we think actually might affect the game and kind of discuss where it might take the game. So you're listening, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to talk about which you guys have. You have one that you want to throw out, double sniffed. You want to talk about something first?
Yeah, I want to actually. I'm gonna get serious. I'm taking off the wig.
Oh, whew, so serious.
Yeah, that's changes everything. You should see when I do this in court.
Yeah.
Your
Actually,
Honor,
Your Honor.
He whips off the wig. He's like, "This shit's for real. Let's go." And they're like, "Oh no, he took off the wig."
took it off. That's a wig.
Bailiff,
for
who is this man?
anybody
It's
listening
a
at
man,
home, I was
baby.
wearing this ridiculous purple long wig that a friend of mine gave me. I enjoy wigs. Wigs are fun. You drive around with a wig on and watch people react. It's a lot of fun. Trust me. Trust me. So yeah, what is exactly? Give me one second.
Which one of these jumped out at you as
Is
you know,
their
possibly
stupid ass
game-changing?
solution to fucking jungle is what I really wanted to talk about. I don't know if we're there yet.
Yeah, we're right there. Jump on in it.
All right, I want to read this exactly. All right, this is according to Riot. This is what Riot says. The 200 years of game balance experience.
200 plus, please.
200 plus. Pardon me.
Or change them.
No, they fired all the women who were complaining about sexual assault. And I think it actually landed. They added it up, and it went right to exactly to 200.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, quoteth the Riot. One trend we've seen over the years is that new and low MMR players pick jungle at a much lower rate than other positions, even when it's stronger than those other positions. For 10.4,
You mean like every single season when it's been stronger than most other positions?
for 10.4, we're approaching this problem by giving some popular champs at these skill levels better tools to jungle with, especially also because jungle has an arguably smaller champion pool than other positions. While players here still have to contend with the learning curve of jungle as a position, they won't have to learn to play a new champion as well. All the changes below are to ability effectiveness against monsters to avoid bleeding over into lane strength. And basically, they're making a whole shit ton of people junglers.
We're trying.
They're trying to.
Okay.
The list is Darius.
Just listen to this list. It's the most quintessential like 12-year-olds like wet dream of characters list. It's great.
Darius, Diana, Garen, Gnar, Mordekaiser, Talon, and my personal favorite, Zed.
I think
'Cause
we all know
that's
that we
where-
needed talent
that's where-
and Zed in the jungle.
Where low MMR players, that's what's been holding them back, is new players. That's why they haven't seen success, is because Zed isn't a viable jungle option. Now,
I was
holy
just shitting
shit.
on people in lane with Zed. My Zed was so
Yeah,
good in lane,
so
but,
clean, so fucking clean. This champ that I've got.
but I was being held back by not being able to
my
jungle with it.
Gnar, my assassins, that my low MMR players, because they know how to team fight in the late game. That's the real problem. And this is just absolute fucking horseshit to me.
So honestly, with a lot of the champions that they picked here, I don't feel like this makes. I don't feel like this is gonna make a huge difference into whether or not these champions should be picked in the jungle. Like, yes, they can survive the jungle. But
3 of these champions have CC.
well, I mean, 3 of
them.
These 2 of
That's
them
it.
are legitimate already jungle picks. Like Diana jungle,
Diana's
it's kind of a
fine.
thing.
Diana's
And
already
that's-
legit.
that's
They're
a
just
fine
making it
buff.
better, right?
Yeah,
And that's fine with me. Like I don't mind Diana.
and I've seen
jungle.
Talon jungle before.
You need
Not
more
often.
AP in the jungle anyway, I feel. So I don't mind having like an AP damage because right now, what is it? Elise?
I mean, Nidalee.
Nunu does, and Mumu does a shit ton of fucking AP damage.
If you build it,
You
yeah.
can't go like
Fair.
you can't turn a tank into AP with like Nunu or something like that. But
But they did buff Amumu too, though. So
they
Mumu
did.
got a big buff.
Yeah. So
honestly, it's a good one.
I mean, and everybody with the Bomby Cinder got a buff.
We'll be
we're gonna talk about
Bobby
that.
Cinder.
Yeah,
That's big time.
I'll bomb your cinder.
Yeah, but
I'll
to
put the
your
wig
point,
back on.
I don't think there's anything wrong with expanding the jungle pool. I think that in theory is completely fine. I think that the people they chose to expand the jungle pool with is questionable at best. I mean, Garen's literally in there because there's a Riot guy who one tricks. It's Cactopus. I'm pretty sure he one tricks like Garen jungle. Like that's what.
I mean, I've already seen it. Yeah. But that doesn't change how he like functions in the fact of just running at you with a Q up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, sure, it will make his clear easier, but I don't feel like that, is going to fundamentally change how he functions.
Here's my issue with it is that it's not the skill. It's not that there aren't champions to play in the jungle that low MMR players can't play or aren't like, maybe they're trying to like appease like for lore purposes, or like, people feel like the champs that are easy to jungle with aren't that fun. The problem is that they fucking fundamentally reinvent the fucking entire lane, the entire position every 2.5 to 3 months. That is what is the problem. The problem is that, first of all, like, stop calling jungle a position. Jungling is not a position. Jungling is positions, because the meta shifts more so than any other lane.
We just lost Danger.
I was wondering what that sound was.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully he's getting back in here.
But for some reason on the stream, oh wait, I guess I got bumped because
yeah.
Okay. Anyway, well, he'll have to pick back up.
Yeah.
And no, it says not recording on mine. Oh, maybe
Really?
Blake's recording.
Let's see. Let me see what it's showing for my screen, because it was showing recording. Oh, it's no longer showing recording.
Okay.
Ah, shit.
Goody.
Well, you did.
We're definitely still on stream now.
Yeah,
we're on stream.
Hold up.
But yeah, no, I think it's less. I don't know.
Hold
I think
up.
you're totally
Hold
right
up.
that they.
You're still recording. You're still on stream. Your recording has quit at 14 minutes in. Did you lose Danger 14 minutes?
We lost Danger.
Yeah, right around there. Yeah.
All right. We'll just restart whenever.
Like the whole podcast?
No, unless you
No.
want to.
No, I don't want to.
Let's see. Let's see when you lost him.
I think it was right around 14, because I waited until I saw the impact on the stream.
No, it was 14.
I'll bomb your cinder. Yeah, because he like froze up for a while. His camera was frozen. There he is.
Man,
Look at him.
Good times. I have no idea what happened, and
Still
now
centered in frame. Look at you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
And now I'm Danger Penguin on the stream, and Deverett is this is like a total rotate.
I've got half of a frame.
You guys have switched spots on me. Let me fix that.
Well, it's not even that. I've got like, oh, there we go. I was gonna say your little tooltip thing is.
Rip.
Okay. Where'd you guys leave off? My apologies. Apparently my computer.
I have to restart record, and then we'll go.
Okay.
So 5, 4, 3. Go ahead.
And we're back. Technical difficulties, really shocking from this this podcast. So I'm as surprised as anyone. What I was trying to say is I don't mind them expanding the pool. I think that the characters they chose to expand the pool with are very
curious.
It's
I don't think there's any inherent problems with who they chose either.
I don't have a problem with any of this.
It's just like, okay.
I think putting Talon as a jungle-based character could lead to a lot of problems, especially
Talon's going to be out of fucking control.
Especially at low elo. They don't know how to ward well as is, and now warding.
It's not like warding does a whole lot for Talon.
That's what I'm saying. Even if they did know how to ward, now you have to try and figure out how to ward across jump pass that he's going to be coming through. I think if this makes him viable, which I'm not convinced it was, his abilities now wound all monsters for 120% damage. I don't know if that's going to give him a clear that he needs to make things happen. Maybe if he's like if he kind of goes like the Warwick style, where you go for the the clear item first, right? So
Yeah, like a Tiamat.
Tiamat. Yeah. So maybe if he does that, you might be able to make him viable, but I don't think that's a good choice. I don't think that's a good idea.
I mean, he's fundamentally no different than Kane. I mean, Kane has the same, provides
Or what
the
about, like,
same
Shaco?
challenges. Oh God,
I mean, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking effectiveness wise, he probably falls in there with Shaco, where it's like if AD Shaco can get like some early ganks off, he's a terror, and if he doesn't, he's underwhelming.
But
And
here's
that's
the
probably where he's
problem:
going
like
to stay.
low MMR players don't know how to play assassins in team fights as is.
True.
Like,
Yeah, they're just picking
So
people off,
that'll
right?
Yeah, so that'll keep him out of being oppressive. I don't know.
maybe
I think it's some interesting decision, especially for people like the Nara or the Darius to move him into the jungle. Though I have seen in the past Darius listed as a jungler, like when he never
jungled at all. Yeah.
exactly. Like I think that used to be on his like tooltip in the client, right? That it was like you could pick him like as a fighter or jungler.
I mean, he got a pretty significant buff because his Q now heals off the monster, and his passive does more damage to the monster.
True.
So I
Well,
mean,
and honestly, what I think one of the biggest things that this might change here for people, I'm especially looking at like the Darius, somewhat the Garen, and like the Mordekaiser, is in top lane when they are able to build a lead. This should help them to kind of snowball that lead more.
That's
Exactly.
another thing too. It's like
Garen,
Garen,
because like that's
you shove the
that's a
wave
Tryndamere
and then go
special.
take Krugs. You can go
And on your way walking back to lane, you've regened everything.
Yep.
Because that was kind of the Tryndamere special, right? After you have that lane dominance, then you just go through, clear the Krugs, clear the Gromp or something like that, and then head back to lane to collect that farm. This is going to speed that up, definitely, and especially with the Darius giving the heal on that.
Yeah, it's going to make fights in the jungle if there's a jungle camp up. Is he going to heal off of all the champions and the monsters?
yes, he will.
Great.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Great. But it is already capped, I believe, at 3 targets.
Now, the problem with
percentage
me
per target
is
up to
that
3.
Darius is already oppressive at low elo, right? Like if you ask like who you don't want to play against as a low elo player, like Darius like tops the list because everyone's like, you can't beat him. He's impossible. He kills you all the time, not knowing how to play against him. So
true, but how many of these same players are going to be really snowballing their lead into the jungle?
And that's another issue. I mean, that's really before we cut out. That was my issue. Is that like Riot's supposedly doing this because
to help the low elo
to make people to entice people to play.
Well, sure, but I don't think we have an issue with Darius being 100% in the jungle. I think the only thing that we're concerned about here is him being a top laner that also gets to go into the jungle.
No, yeah,
right?
I'm with you. These are two separate
Sure.
issues. My issue is this: is that if you want to make people play the jungle, then stop making it such a fucking unsatisfying experience. Like playing the jungle, it's very unsatisfying. Like, I mean, dude, you play top lane, right? What's the biggest change to top lane?
Alcos.
No.
But honestly, it's things like phase rush and the buffing range laners.
Sure, but the fundamentals stay the same. You don't have to learn how to repush a wave. You don't have like extra experience problems.
You get some shitty meta picks that come into the vogue, but the general concept of the top lane, doesn't change.
They completely change jungling all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. So the problem is a low MMR player. Well, I mean, yeah, that's fine. You want to make it fresh, but you've got to realize that if you want to make this rewarding for people that are low MMR, it takes them 3. They don't play as much as we do. Number one,
True.
They don't fucking learn as fast because they're probably more casual anyway. And it's like as soon as they get a handle on something, you fucking change it.
Yeah, well, and I think especially the champions that can responsibly be picked in like the jungle are much more controlled by the meta than other lanes. Like for example, you'll have champions that get to be strong, in top lane or in mid lane or in bot lane, right? And you're gonna mostly see those, but you can, if you still have that like super clean Vayne, you can still play that, right? Even if Vayne's not in the meta.
Yep.
In the jungle, if your champion's, out of the meta, it's usually for the reason of the fact that they just literally can't do anything whatsoever, and they're never going to, you know what I mean? So I think the jungle changes to a much greater degree kind of impact what those junglers are able to do, thereby narrowing that viable pool.
And I think double hit on it is that when they change the experience that's gained from each thing, when experience is gained, like a casual player or a low MMR player, even if they're not casual, is going to have a tough time being like, oh, they changed experience 6, 6 experience on the small Krug, so now I can hit 3 off of this, and this, and then I can use my gank path for X, Y, and Z. No, they're going into the jungle and then they're farming some, and then they're trying to get into a lane, and then they're trying to gank, right? It's not like it's not always a cohesive thought, right? It's okay, I'm going to the jungle. I know I need my leash. I'm going to do this. And then I think I'll do wolves next. That sounds like a good idea. I want to get over there on my red buff, but what they keep changing is how the camps interact, how much experience they get, when their experience changes. And those things are very difficult for new players to ever get a grasp on. And it's already changed this season, right? Jungle started off in a really, really shitty place.
I loved it. I'm weird, but
yeah, you're one of the 2%. Most people agreed that jungle was just in a miserable state.
I'm with you.
It's just 3 junglers in pro play. 3.
Yeah, that style really benefited me personally.
And then the experience was off, and they wanted to lower the ganks at 2, so they changed it, and they actually increased the ganks at 2, which shows that 200 years of experience really popping through. So I think the big point is I don't mind any of these characters getting buffs to their jungle. I actually played some Mordekaiser jungle, and it was fun back when he first got his rework. So maybe I'll try that again. But I think the big kicker is that Riot thinks this will make the jungle more accessible. And I don't think it makes the jungle more accessible for low MMR players, because the jungle is a confusing place to go because it's not laning. It doesn't make sense like laning does. I kill this minion and I try and kill this guy. And now someone else is my lane and I try and kill him, or I try and run away from him. But the jungle is, I need to go to this camp and then this camp and this camp. And then maybe I need to go to the scuttle crab here. And then maybe I need to go to a lane and gang. It's just a more difficult position.
There's so much more autonomy. There's so many more decisions to make.
Which is just inherent to the position that they designed. So it's going.
Which is also why it's such an impactful position traditionally.
Correct, because you get a good jungler and they know about all of those things and they do it well and they execute. So I agree with double lift. Or double sniffed. I don't think. You're not quite double lift yet. So I don't think that this will change the jungle.
Just because you play different lanes.
It's true.
It's interesting. And they said they might experiment if it goes over well.
Hey, me and double lift have the exact same amount of world titles.
Well, you can't argue that. So let's talk a little bit about the Bomby Cinder. All right. The Bomby Cinder that we brought up a little bit, which is going to help out a lot of these tank junglers, is pretty significant. Why don't you?
Well, and more specifically, it's the immolate passive, right?
Yep.
Because that's actually something that I didn't realize for the longest time until a few weeks ago when I started picking up tanks again, is how much more powerful Cinder Hulk is. Or not Cinder Hulk. The completed Sunfire versus the Bombies. Because for the longest time, I just picked up the Bombies and was like, okay, now I can work on other items because I'm already getting the immolate passive. I didn't realize how it's 5 times as much damage almost when you have it completed.
It's ridiculous right now.
Yeah, it's significant.
Yeah, and I'm talking about current, not 10.4, just current state. It's a huge difference between a completed Sunfire and just the Bombies with the immolate passive. But this updated one, so for those who haven't read the patch notes yet, basically, immolate, if I'm understanding this correctly, I hope so, instead of always radiating damage, it's only going to deal damage when you have movement impairing ability cast, right? When you impair movement.
Immobile, not impair. It says in immobile.
So it's hard CC, not just.
Yeah, it's hard CC. From what I understand, that's the way I read it.
Pull this shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, immobilizing ability. Okay. Yeah. So that is going to create a Fire Nova that also deals bonus damage around you, and that's on a 10-second cooldown. So, and that's going to be based off of your off of a flat number plus your bonus health. So it's definitely going to be more impactful, on the tanks. So what do you guys think of it? Do you think this is a healthy change? Are you scared about it?
Actually, I kind of don't like it. Now
See,
that I think about it.
I don't know. Like, they haven't released the full verbiage of the Sunfire Cape and the Cinder Hulk. I believe it still has the constant damage around
Okay,
you.
good.
And then
That's cool.
once every 10 seconds, when you do an immobilizing effect, it also has a pop. All right, so
Okay.
it increases the damage and
That
the
I'm fine
Fire
with.
Nova.
Okay.
I'm like 80% sure, because reading the patch notes, it only says what the new thing is. It doesn't read the entire item. So I'm pretty sure the entire item.
So this is just the passive, right? Because
this is just one of the passives, right? So it could have
the passive was already called Immolate, I believe. So this may be what Immolate now is.
At least what I read coming from Twitter. From the guys on, that's all I do is I follow Riot guys on Twitter.
Fair
it
enough.
said that it increases the damage when you CC.
Okay.
What they stated. So that's what I'm taking it from. That's what I've thought that it means. So if it doesn't mean this,
then that's scary, because I was looking at this as a replacement for the current functionality. Now, if it does that plus the Nova, that could get interesting.
Right, I don't think that they wanted to make Sunfire Cape unusable by people without immobilizing effects, right? Because now, then it would be completely unusable by anyone who can't immobilize, right? So,
but how many people generally run Sunfire right now that don't have an immobilizing? So Garen could be one, but his meta build doesn't include Sunfire, though it used to.
Right now he's more of a bruiser. He's not as much of a tank, but
the problem isn't who has it and who doesn't. The problem is on most of these tank champs and tank junglers, that's an ability that has a decent cooldown, like Shen. Shen wants to be pumping out that little bit of damage all the time. He doesn't want to burn his taunt to get a Fire Nova. You don't want to have to burn your hard CC. Am I wrong about that?
To get value from the item.
Exactly. True. I mean, it's a 10-second cooldown too, so it's
and that's why I'm almost positive that you still have the regular effect.
Because also thinking about someone like Cho'Gath, right? Or Scion, where you do have, a basic ability hard CC, but you're not necessarily next to them.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're at the end of a Scion queue, or if you're at max range on the Cho'Gath queue, great, you immolated everything that isn't near you. You know what I mean?
But we'll discuss the item as if it still burns you if it's near you, but if you immobilize, it does a pop of damage, right? It increases the damage and does a little fire explosion. So in that instance, I think it's a good change, because I don't think tanks are very healthy right now in a large portion of the game. All you see are tanks in bot lane, right? You have all of them are tanks in bot lane, and they don't get this item, so that doesn't really affect them. But any of your top lane tanks,
maybe they start,
except Ornn,
because you don't want to
blow
show
the Ornn horn. True.
The support doesn't want to be doing damage to minions just by walking around
until you're out of lane.
Yeah, until you're out of lane.
Maybe,
it's not a common buy for them. You're going Knight's Vow. You're going,
well, honestly, the thing right now
Convergence,
is, what's the item that doubles your health if you're in the middle of a bunch of people?
Stoneplate's
getting huge right now too.
Yep. So your tanks are in a healthy spot in support. Your tanks in the jungle and in top are in a less healthy spot, because the bruisers that are in those positions usually beat the shit out of you, and you're not too good unless you're Ornn. Ornn does more damage than the bruisers, and he can absorb all of the damage. So Ornn is busted.
And come level 12, you've got an extra 500 health and 50 resistance.
You give each teammate 1,500 gold.
Yeah,
literally every single ability.
I've been abusing that the last few days, and climbed a full tier in a day just off the Ornn.
Yeah, he's gonna be giga busted once it's hit, because every single ability that he has can proc this.
True.
Right?
True. Yeah.
As soon as he applies brittle, just basic attacking you procs this shit. Right? because that's technically a little knockup. So literally,
and even the Q, if you walk over it, knocks you up.
it knocks you up. Yep, and
So
that'll proc it, and then
or even knocks you aside. Yeah.
Yep,
well, it's got a 10-second cooldown, so it's not
Right.
going to get procced a bunch. But like he has a lot of
literally,
options.
he can proc it with any.
Well, but it's
abilities
however
when
he wants to
up.
proc it, he can. Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't have to only use the 20-second taunt cooldown.
And the Sunfire Cape is one of his 2 main items, right? It's the.
Oh yeah.
That
The only time
and
you wouldn't do that first.
when you go with the mask.
Exactly. Yeah. The Infernal Mask. Infernal is that?
No, it's the. I always just call it the mask, but it's the item that builds out of the catalyst, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and it gives you the 15% bonus magic damage. Also gives you magic resist and upgrades with his.
Those are his 2 main items, and if this item works the way that we expect it to, Ornn is already horribly busted and is not getting a nerf this patch. But now, I think that he's just going to be beyond giga busted. Like I wouldn't be shocked if he gets a mid patch nerf, because I don't. Right now, he's pick ban in pro play. You see him all the time in top lane whenever I play, at least. He's just too valuable. He's the only tank that is reliable and can outduel any of these bruisers in lane.
I mean, another nice part of it is the fact that the current ADC meta with like Senna, Felios, they're pretty immobile, and so you can actually get on top of them, with an Ornn late game.
Yep. But I like the idea of them changing this item because it can bring other tanks back in. It'll be good for people like Maokai, who I haven't seen in 2 years. I don't even know if he is still a champion, but if he is, this might help him out. Like you said, Scion, it would be pretty good on. Rammus, I think that would be solid. I mean, obviously you're going Cinderhawk on Rammus. That'll be nice. So I like the idea of the item. I'll be interested to see how it affects. I know it's going to be bad on Ornn, but I think the good that it'll make up for, because I would like the jungle pool to increase. I don't want to see Lee Sin, Elise every fucking game. Like I don't. It's every fucking game. It's those 2.
Yeah, but that's like where is it those 2 and only those 2? In pro play.
I mean, I see. I haven't been in a game where Lee Sin hasn't been picked in like 12 games.
Oh wow, okay, that's not what I'm experiencing. But and I play Warwick, so I shit on Lee Sin. That's not a problem. But like, I mean, at least it's a bad matchup for him, I think. But like, that's another thing.
Anything against you is a bad matchup.
Are they doing this for us, or are they doing it for pro play?
I don't think they're doing it for pro play, because I don't think it'll be that impactful, because the bruiser meta is still strong. They haven't nerfed Conqueror. I think that pro play they're still going to be better in, but I wouldn't mind seeing some tanks come back. I think, don't get me wrong, I don't mind 25-minute games, but I also kind of miss like those really cool long team fights where you had a lot of like outplay that could last. Games would be more like 33 minutes, 34 minutes.
Most of my games are that.
Are they?
Yeah.
I get a lot of 25.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Plat 4 right now.
Okay, I mean I'm in gold. I was in gold 1. I got demoted, but I'm in gold 2 now, so it's not too far off. But like my games are taking for fucking ever, and that's the problem. Like, see, when you say like tanks are in a weak spot in the jungle, I'm like, shit, tanks are in a great spot because every game goes to 45 minutes, and you just can't do anything.
Yeah,
like,
so Sejuani's gotten back up there.
Sejuani's who I've been playing.
Yeah, her buff helped her out a lot. She got a 10% attack speed. In our elo and in lower elo, you can play anything. You really can. If you're good enough, you can play it. I don't think I've seen a Maokai in 2 years. I honestly don't.
Yeah, I haven't seen one.
He just doesn't.
In Earth. In Earth, I've seen. He just throws the shit all over the place.
But I think there are some champions that this will help out that I think we'll be good with. I won't mind it with Rammus. He's also getting a buff this patch, so I'll be trying to try him out again. I've always been a fan of Rammus. So I don't mind the direction. See where it lands.
Yeah.
Ornn has to be nerfed. He just has to be like.
No.
He has to be like how he's not on the nerf.
Remember the good old days when he got
don't worry, they'll lower his movement speed. They'll
he's such a speedy boy right now.
they'll lower his movement speed, or they'll like increase his ult cooldown by like 10 extra seconds, something like that. And then they'll fix that by giving extra stats to all of his free items.
Yeah, most likely.
You know.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it lands. I don't mind the change. I'm interested to see where it goes. What about the Hail of Blades? I'm pretty interested in this Hail of Blades change because I know someone's gonna find something that's fucking busted on this, and you're gonna see a ton of Reddit clips about it. So I'm pretty excited about it. But the big change is Hail of Blades used to have to be out of combat for 4 seconds to be able to get your attack speed increase. No longer is that the case. It is just an 8-second cooldown. So I think before it was literally only could be used in the jungle, and every once in a while you'd see like an ADC take it for late game. But for the most part, it was only jungle. I think you're going to see it a lot in lane now.
Which lane?
I think you could see a lot of it in mid lane with assassins like on Talon, I'm sure, with the quick attacks.
Here's my issue is that, like, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but like, if you're an assassin and your fight lasts longer than 8 seconds.
No. It's an 8-second cooldown. So all it means is you get to proc it. Before, if you were farming CS, you couldn't proc it because you were.
So it's not champion combat. It's just not, all of combat.
It's just can be.
I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. No, I could see that being.
It's no longer combat restrictive at all. It's 8 seconds go by and it's up.
Okay.
So you don't have to be a jungler to use it anymore. I could see ADCs using this. Absolutely. Vayne every 8 seconds is going to triple proc on your ass. Like that's going to happen like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be the odd part, is just kind of that unexpected burst of speed in the middle.
Kog'Maw, all of a sudden he's going to hit his W, and from range that you can't reach in, pop, 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 and then he's just going to keep farming. I think you're going to see some really busted, but I don't mind it. I think the way it was built before was poor. Because
there were only 3 champions that could use it.
So limited. It's Rek'Sai, Xin Zhao, and
Vi.
Yeah.
And Pyke mid.
Yes, Pyke mid. The common.
Oh yeah, I mean, how could we forget?
I have seen it a number of times. It's
out there. It is out there, yeah. But so I think you could even take this on some bruisers top lane if you
I think you'll see it more, but ultimately I don't think that this makes Hail of Blades like the new Conqueror or anything like that. I don't think it comes to the forefront.
Agreed, but I know someone's going to find something that's busted as fuck on it. And
I bet they always do. I mean, Soraka top, right? Nothing major changed. They just kind of realized, like, wait a second, what if we didn't really play the game and just healed people?
Because our lane's not really that impactful anyway. You're just top.
Okay. So, do you guys want to keep talking about Hail of Blades? Because I was actually thinking a bit about this whole, caster top type deal and what that means for right, because initially when that hit as a top lane main, I was like, great, yeah, this is just kind of that realization, right? We can all accept that top lane doesn't really matter because you can play whatever you want up there. But I was realizing honestly it makes it a lot easier for solo queue to function as a team game. Because for example, I was playing a few games of Sona top. And now, while I did have kind of retarded damage, on single target as Sona, where I was really impactful was grouping with the team, was, turning it kind of into that team-based game. And so it kind of forced me to play in a team-based style, whereas when I play my normal champions, Tryndamere and Alawi, I kind of avoid my team, right? I'm kind of like trying to draw their team to me, but, not really see my team as much as possible. And so, while I don't want to say that I want to see that continue, I feel like it, in some ways it was kind of an interesting, change to the approach to the game where, hey, I'm going to play this, kind of team-centric thing. In the same way I played against the Soraka top the other day. I was playing Ornn, and I had a Hecarim jungle, and thankfully he had the, kind of presence of mind to actually come to my lane and, take advantage of this super weak laner. We were able to keep her to like 0-5 or something like that. And then, we won off of that because she couldn't do anything because we were playing as a team to counter it. And I think that's where the main part of that strength from those Enchanters top was coming. Because a lot of it was the fact that you were able to be very useful to your team and let's be honest, solo queue teams by default don't work together super well. Unless your duo is the jungle and they come and gank you a lot, like you generally aren't going to be seeing a whole ton of team play. Just a lot of individuals hopefully doing well together.
Right. No, I think that's a good point. And it brings up an interesting point from Riot's perspective, right? Like, so Karma's gone top for years, right? That's not unusual. And then sometimes they hit it a little, and then sometimes they buff it a little. I think they have no clue what they're doing with Karma. But now you get Soraka top, and it starts being played in the pro regions, and it's played quite often in solo queue as well. And then you get the Sona top with Dark Harvest. I had one on my team the other day. She was 5-0 at 8 minutes. She just steamrolled the whole game. It didn't matter that our mid had gone 0-7 because Sona was going to drag us to victory no matter what the fuck happened. And she did. To her credit, she drug us through the mud to our victory, which, credit to her. But then Riot sees this and is like, oh God, like Sona and Soraka are way better top than every champion we've designed to go top. So their decision is to nerf them and nerf them into the ground. Their top lane is going to be killed by this patch.
Good.
I know a lot of people are happy about it, and I am in theory because I think I agree with Riot that it's dumb, except for the fact that people have theory crafted their game and found a new use for their people, which is something they say they encourage, and then when it does happen, they're squashing it. Right?
True.
So,
well, I mean, in their defense,
Soraka was not just
she's got
a
like
viable
a
top
56%
laner. She was the winningest.
That's the issue.
Yeah, but they didn't hit like her base stats or the damage on her Q or anything like that. They hit everything to specifically affect being in a solo lane. So like now, if you hit your Q, you get rejuvenate on you. So then if you heal someone else with that rejuvenate on you, it costs you either less health or no health. Right. So that's directly linked to.
Well, and that's because they were saying that she wasn't out of hand as a support, so they didn't want to nerf her across the board, but they didn't want her to be the same. Right. I don't know.
Really, I mean, if you were,
I think she was unhealthy overall, but I do get where you're coming from. I do get where you're coming from. Where it's like, the moment you have something that's, not what they intended or expected, it's like, no, get rid of it.
Right. And maybe it's a problem with the rest of your top laners right now, right? If
that's a huge thing.
If you can't abuse a Soraka top, then maybe it's not Soraka's problem. Maybe it's the fact that you don't have anyone else who can fucking do their job up there. Right? Like that's my issue. Because top lane, I mean, I know that you play top lane more. I do play top lane some.
No.
But it just seems it's their changes. That one of their goals, right? When we go to season 10, we're gonna make top lane mean something. And then what do? They make the dragon super fucking important, and then make Rift Herald pop up at 8. So you pull your whole fucking bot lane up there. You take Rift Herald, and then everyone goes back right to where they fucking belong.
Yeah.
And you ignore top lane again. Like their goal was to make top lane more relevant, and what they did is prove that top lane had become so irrelevant that it was worth more to have a heal bot top, not even working with someone else, just farm to late game and then heal the shit out of the team, right?
Yeah.
So what you really needed to do, you didn't need to do this, like, there's a laundry list of changes to Soraka. There's like a full fucking page on it. What you need to do is Q does 30% less damage to minions. Boom. She can't push that wave in and then, and then be safe and then farm comfortably on her side too, right? Because then it would be more difficult. I think you could have gone with a simpler change, but what they said with these changes is, fuck that. We want that nowhere near our game, which is fine in general because it's not.
Which is the sentiment of most people going top lane at this point.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You're already having an issue anyway if you decide top lane's for you.
The other issue is like,
True.
I mean, you bring your bot lane up to grab the rift, but that's only in coordinated pro play. That just shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen in my solo queue games.
Yeah.
Maybe in Clash.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in solo duo.
No, not solo.
At least not at our level.
Flex queue, I've seen it before. Like we've organized it in Flex queue before.
Oh, sure.
But no,
in the full pre-mades.
But in solo queue, then just you take it you take the Herald if it's available, or you leave it. You don't give a shit. But everyone still plays around Dragon, even in solo queue, right? Because we all know how valuable getting to that soul is.
Mhm.
So they said they wanted to make top lane more relevant, but then at the same time they made bot lane way more important than it even was before, and it was already super important before.
Yeah.
So
I did hear an idea like tossed around where like the dragon could alternate pits where it spawns. So that, like maybe the first one's bot and the second one is top. It's an interesting. I don't know, because right now you could say that Baron's super impactful too, and that spawns top, but it doesn't spawn top until you're not in the lane anymore.
Now that would be fucking interesting. If in the first 20 minutes of the game, like,
granted that
you
might
don't know what's going to spawn where.
Well, that also might just spawn in, or take us back to the full lane swap strategy, like season 4, right, where you just push shit down. I mean, you wouldn't have the same tower pushing potential, but you might have
because of the increased armor and everything like that.
Exactly.
It would be an interesting change.
Didn't they just make a change to how that works right now, so that the pre 5 minute it doesn't reduce damage top if you're solo?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, that's so nice. My goodness. Because that's the worst thing about getting an early kill is it's like, well, don't get anything more for this. Just got to pack up now because I don't deal any damage to a turret.
Well, in the PBA, they have made it so that the first plate you can actually do you should actually do something to it.
Well, that's what I thought, that it didn't give any extra resistance like that, the 5 minute resistance, unless there was more than one person nearby.
Yeah, that's what
and then
Yep.
So
but
that's definitely nice for top laners, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so Soraka top is dead. Thank God, everyone's happy. My only issue is then what will be the next thing? And Sona top took a hit too. Like her mana pool went like crazy, right?
Yeah, she only gets mana back if she actually enchants an ally.
Yeah.
And they increased her mana by a shit ton.
Yeah, didn't they increase the costs unless it helps someone?
It increased at level 1.
Jeez.
It went from 50 mana to 75, and Sona now gains 30 mana the first time she tags an ally with her aura. So,
but is that something that can be overcome by a tier?
Possibly, but then you're not. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that you could, but I think, and her basically all of her abilities, the mana was increased by 25 or 30.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is a lot.
Yeah, it's significant. I think it'll hurt her top by a lot.
Yeah, but honestly, on that kind of top lane discussion, if we want to look at other runes that got tweaked, Phase Rush, big one.
Yeah,
I wish they'd do something to nerf it on the range. So they buffed it ever so slightly for melees, but for ranged, I'm sorry, but the Rise Cassiopeia, it's really and Vladimir.
Yeah, Vladimir is one of the big.
It wasn't weak on them before, and I'm sorry, but it's this champion that can proc it and then go untargetable, and just swoop right underneath all of your CC and then pop up and one-shot your entire team. Come on. I don't know, because I think that's one of the big things, fighting a kind of a traditional melee top laner into these Rise and Vladimir picks, is the fact that it's the moment where you're okay, all my abilities are off cooldown, I'm going in, they auto Q auto, and then they just zip on away, or in Rise's case, he sticks you in place, deals half your damage,
and then walks away.
and then runs away at turbo speed, where there's nothing that you can do to slow that down. So and they buffed it now so that they have a longer window in which to cast those, so that they can, I don't know.
I don't think Phase Rush is very healthy, in my opinion.
And there's very few melee picks that I've ever been man, that's not Darius can take Phase Rush.
I've seen that on Darius. Yeah, that was the one I was gonna say.
It can definitely be strong, right? But I think a lot of that comes from just the Darius strength rather than the inherent.
Right, because then he could just stick with you longer.
Exactly.
maybe he can take Ignite instead of Ghost or something like that if he grabs Phase Rush. But Conquer is so strong on him, it's tough to. It's got to be a very specific play style.
Yeah.
To
Well,
want to go Phase
when
Rush.
I was playing Son of Top, I had like a few different people pick like Darius, Ghost, Phase Rush. And so it's like he just pops Ghost and you literally can't run away from him.
Right.
And then he gets his combo and then you're because you're fragile, right? And that's not your traditional top laner, isn't quite so fragile, isn't so in danger, but
yeah, so just so everyone's clear, Phase Rush had the maximum time between attacks increased from 3 seconds to 4 seconds, and the movement speed stayed the same for range, but melee got a 5 to 10% buff depending on the level. So it is slightly better on melee.
Udyr top.
I don't really know
Incoming.
who they're designing it for, because almost any person you think of that can go Phase Rush as melee probably wants a damage dealing item anyway. Right? You probably want Conquer. You probably want Press the Attack. You probably most of the people I would think, oh, it'd be cool to stick with them longer. You don't have to stick with them longer because you're a bruiser, right? So
and I think at the core of this, like when we look at these Phase Rush changes, when we look at these Halo Blades changes, honestly, the thing that's keeping these runes, I think, out of the meta is kind of just the overall reliable damage, right? Like with Lethal Temple, as soon as you make an attack, you're going to dish out a ton of damage in the next few seconds, when you keep attacking. With Conqueror, you're going to, get increasing AD all the time, whereas like Phase Rush, it's like I run at them faster, but if I don't have, more abilities to cast in that, window of time where I'm nearby them, it didn't really impact me. And it's already picked on these champions that have so much damage already. The Rise Vladimir, they do so much damage already that it doesn't really matter that they don't have a little bit less damage from other sources, It just keeps them that much safer so that they can get to their late game giga damage.
Right. I feel like the Halo Blades change is going to be interesting, and there might be some cool effects with it. I feel like with the Phase Rush change that it only helped the 3 people who use it already, and it didn't add to their pool. Like I don't see, and maybe someone will surprise me. Maybe a few people will be added to it. Be like, oh yeah, Phase Rush does work really good on them, and now
I was gonna say maybe I'm sure this is gonna open the door to 3 or 4 theory crafted, people that are gonna
I can see it
all over
work on
in that niche.
Xin Zhao had it before,
Yeah.
and this will actually be really good on him.
But I think Halo Blades will be even
Halo
better.
Blades will be better. I knew you were going to say that.
So, it's an interesting change, but I don't see it having a ton of effect.
True.
I think the only other thing really worth mentioning in these patch notes, there's a bunch of buffs and nerfs and blah blah blah. You guys can read it if you want it. But something that might be interesting to talk about is the perfect timing change.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
Everyone knows how broken stopwatch is, and you at least at Pro Play, everyone has bought a stopwatch and used it at some point during the game. But they're changing perfect timing and they're nerfing it really hard. So before it gave you a stopwatch at 10 minutes, right? Now it gives you a stopwatch at 14 minutes, and for every takedown, it reduces that timer by 2 minutes.
So it's kind of like the free boots.
Yeah, but it no longer gives the additional 15% cooldown reduction on Guardian's Angel, Gargoyle Stoneplate, and Zhonya's Hourglass. So I think that was a
I'm not going to lie, I didn't realize that it had the...
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that was the thing.
I knew that because I play Zyra support, and I take that all the time because it works really well when you get a lead as Zyra support. Like if I'm up like 201, then people want to kill me. So they'll really sell out to do it, and then all of a sudden stopwatch. It oftentimes is my second rush.
EWWQ ult, and then bye.
And then
so plants. It's like Heimer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. It's exactly like Runner. So I'll rush that as like my second item. I'll go Zhonya's second item because they'll still sell out to try and kill me, and then it'll just fuck them over.
Yeah.
So I always took this rune because 15% cooldown reduction, is significant on what is it? It's a 2-minute cooldown, I think, on those items, on Zhonya's. To me, that's a big change, and it's
18 seconds.
Yeah. it's especially going to affect pro play, but it'll be really interesting. I think they're starting to see some of the problems they've introduced with the stopwatch into the game. You know, it's only been around like a year, maybe 2, because before that you could just buy Zonia's and then Guardian's Angel. I don't even think Gargoyle Stoneplate was a thing back then. So, like you said, every support right now is buying Gargoyle Stoneplate. That was also, like if they took that rune, that would help them out as far as like how often they could proc that, and how often they could engage for a big team fight. So I think that is going to have a significant impact, at least at high levels. Might not affect lower levels as much, but it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Overall, what do you think about the direction, like with this type of patch that Riot's taking? Just like a quick double sniff, go share, like quick overview of like Riot stupid, Riot smart,
Riot's still stupid. I mean, the jungle is still. I just, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Like it's just it's still. It seems like it's in limbo as far as how to carry, how to like. I'm having issues with seeing junglers like get an early lead and actually make that meaningful. Like I get an early lead in almost all of my games. I go 4-0, and I try to apply that to the map, and it's not happening. And then their jungler, who I've been shitting on for the first 15 minutes, hits a power spike, and it's just off to the races for them. I think I have some issues with that. I think they need to twerk or tweak, not twerk.
They can twerk it too.
They can twerk, yeah. It's a free country. Maybe catch-up experience could use a little bit of a tweak here and there. I don't know. I think it's going to take another major patch lull for things to like level out. To me, one thing I really hate is seeing Karthus in the jungle again. That's not jungling.
That's not jungling.
It shouldn't be rewarded. Like I don't understand. To me, it's no different than a Soraka top lane. It's just.
I think that's a very fair comparison because it's someone who doesn't interact, right?
Yep.
Does everything they can not to interact, and then all of a sudden pop out. Like they used to hate this. Like Riot used to talk about it, how they didn't want to have that much experience in the jungle because they didn't want someone just popping out at 9 levels after not having seen them all game and have them destroy everyone. Yep. Well, right now he doesn't even need to pop out. They're just, you got someone low? I'll hit R, and then I'll kill him, and then I'll go back to farming.
Oh, the days of Feral Flare.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to honestly bring up Feral Flare. I'm starting to see that with Yi now too. Yi power farmers that are just like, I'm here, and then I hit my spike. And this is another fucked up thing.
So that is still true with
No. I'm bringing this up because I forgot about this shit. I played a fucking Yi who soloed the Baron at 21 minutes.
Jesus. How many kills did he have?
We both had 6.
Okay.
We both had 6. I had more assists than he did.
Did he have like Rage Blade?
He had more farm. He had Rage Blade, Wit's End, and Blood Razor. And he soloed the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Like there should not be one champion of the entire pool that can do that at equal strength. I was Warwick. I was having a great game. You know what I mean? Like I was doing just fine. Like I was killing people. He was killing people. I see this fight mid lane. I'm like, oh, gotta go to mid lane. We're fighting. There's 4 of them there. And the next thing we know, pop goes the Baron. I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Like that's wrong. Like number one, I thought they changed it so that you couldn't solo the Baron now. But like
it's a lot harder.
Yeah, because of the damage function, it's supposed to do something. But
exactly.
Yeah,
but he also has true damage, which is why.
Right.
So that needs to be fucking fixed because he's my ban right now, and so is Kha'Zix. Like Kha'Zix is also out of fucking control.
But I don't know.
Does fucking everything.
As far as this patch goes, I'm kind of like cautiously curious. I don't know. Some of it looks interesting. I don't see anything that jumps out as me as this is retarded. And I feel like they have addressed a few of my pain points. Right. Interested to see the Garen buff because I didn't feel like he was super weak, but a little bit more damage on him I guess isn't the worst. But otherwise, also hopefully these Aphelios changes do something to mitigate whatever it
You
is
had
he
to
does.
say his name. We went all fucking hour
I know.
without triggering danger, and you had to fucking say his. Don't you say his name?
Hey,
You get his
all
name
it
out your
said.
motherfucking
I'll
mouth.
let you know I don't get triggered by Aphelios anymore because I haven't seen him in a game in months. So,
That's not true. I played a game with you a month ago where you actually let me play it.
I didn't let you play him.
And that was worse than playing against it.
And I want you to know it was begrudging.
Probably
It
was.
was super begrudging because I want him to maintain that 200% ban ratio that happens when
True.
both teams ban him, just so Riot can know you're fucking idiots.
No, they have
Yeah.
200
200
years,
years.
of plus years.
We are going to talk about
experience.
Aphelios really quick.
All
I'll
right.
let you know. The clarity changes are smart. They did nothing to address color blindness. I've hit everyone on that team. The flamethrower and the root gun are the exact same color to me. They are the exact same symbol. Nothing changes about either one of them. That's fucking stupid. You have so many colors to choose from. Don't choose blue and purple is what I have to assume they are, and have them be the same color palette. Like or give it a different symbol. If you have one as a blue square and a purple circle, then I can fucking tell the difference between them. But until they do something about that, he'll never be in my games unless I graciously let Double Sniff take him once every now and then.
Yep.
But they did nerf him hard, which I'm happy to see because he is like 99% pick ban in pro play right now.
Well, I mean, dude, that's same thing with Senna. I mean, like there's 3 ADCs, and when there's not there's 4 ADCs. There's Varus, Xayah, Aphelios, and Senna.
Yeah. Aphelios
And that's it.
Jin's not in a horrible spot right now.
And that's honestly
neither
the
is
worst.
Vayne.
That's the worst part of the game. I think the biggest change and the biggest negative change in the game identity over the last sort of like end of season 9, beginning of season 10 is that ADCs are fucking weak as hell.
They're not, though.
I don't think it's ADCs are weak as hell. I think it's that only the new characters work in these positions because you'll also see Set all the time in pro play right now, right? I like Set. I think Set's a good design. I think that Set's still overtuned. I think that they have to work on his W a little bit more because
ADCs don't carry games, is what I'm trying to say.
Aphelios does.
Aphelios
We've been playing different games.
You're not watching the games I'm watching because
Maybe
Aphelios
not.
can be 1-4 and carry a fucking game because he just.
I mean,
look, here's my turret. Oh, you walked into it? You're fucking dead, idiot. You shouldn't have walked near a turret. It's worse than Heimerdinger.
I just mean in general.
Yeah. No, they're not as strong. But I'd still, you can still see them carry games, and I've started seeing this last patch. So 10.3 is what the pros are playing on right now. You see a little bit more. You see some Ez and you see some Ashe that are out there right now, and Ashe is actually very, very just outputting a shit ton of damage with Lethal Tempo right now. So I think they are increasing it. Aphelios is getting pretty good nerfs along with the clarity change, which include like shortening his ult range by like 500. So it was like 1800 before, it's 1300 now. I think that's a really good decision because letting him shoot all the way across the map and killing you as well as everything else you could do probably wasn't fucking great. They're nerfing his turret some. That's good.
Thank you.
And what I say to Riot is, fuck you. I don't care. He will still be banned by me at
True.
Ethereum. So
I mean, let's be honest. They changed Akali for months, and
did you know that she's still popping
she
up?
was still.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
but
Broken Blade picked her and got fucking shit on. Like I don't know what he was thinking.
That was funny. But in Korea, I think
It's
she's
good
beat twice. So it's still possible. But overall,
All right.
my feelings on this patch are. I think it's interesting. I don't think it's a bad patch. I think that they're trying to address some issues. I don't think that everything they're doing is going to.
It hasn't gone live yet.
No, but this is just my impression of reading it, right? I've seen other patches where I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? At least I have like an idea of their direction here. That doesn't mean it'll pan out. I could be completely wrong. I'm wrong often. Just ask my wife. But in this situation, I think I like the direction they're taking. They're like, hey, tanks kind of suck right now. Let's see about an item change instead of going at every individual tank, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a good direction. I think trying to make the runes more interesting so you don't see Conqueror, Comet, Lethal Temple every single time. I think that's a good idea. So I think I like their direction with what they're planning on doing. Doesn't mean they'll be effective, but we'll find out. That's just our idea of what some of this patch might bring. And when you start playing it and you see everything that we said you wouldn't see, you can say, "Fuck those guys, they're idiots," and we'll be like,
I mean, you can say that regardless.
"Yeah," and because we
Probably
are,
do.
so it's all right. But any parting words from anyone?
I think that about does it, guys. Good patch rundown.
Yeah, it's not a bad episode.
Yeah. Here's to a downright tolerable episode, guys.
2020 reviews. It's not the worst.
That'll
thing.
do.
Not the
That'll
worst
do,
shit we've
Lola.
ever done, but it's not on the top of the list.
No,
either.
the worst episode was the Aphelios episode I had to do. That was a
yeah.
nightmare.
We're happy to bring you a perfectly average episode here at
Mhm.
League of Legends Anonymous podcast.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.